Why is it so hard to be you, to be your authentic self? People tell you all the time, just be yourself. It's the easiest thing in the world. And in a sense, they're right. Being yourself is the easiest thing in the world, but it can also be the hardest thing in the world, especially when you're used to being a performance version of yourself. Another another word for that is being your protective self. So, what is a protective self? Why do we create a protective self? We create a protective self because we're afraid of criticism, judgment, and rejection. And there's a lot of that out there in this world. Um, we all know that. We all know that no matter who you are, what you believe in, you could be a saint, you could be the most moral person in the world, you could be Jesus. You're going to be criticized, you're going to be judged, you're going to be rejected. And since we have such a deep fear of rejection, especially, it's like a childhood fear of rejection that we have. The inner child within you is afraid that the world will reject you. So, in order to protect yourself, you create this protective self. And the protective self's job is to put on some armor and represent you, right? Represent you in the best light to the world. The protective self is what you want the world to believe that you are. It's what you think a smart person looks like. It's what you think someone that has it all together looks like. What somebody who dresses well looks like. It's not really you. It's just a representative of you that you have assigned the power to represent you in the world. And the protective self, it serves two functions, right? So the first one is to show you in the best light what you believe is the best light, but of course it's not the best light because your authentic self is always going to be your best light, right? But it's what you believe the world wants thinks someone that has it together looks like. So that's the first function. But deep down, you know that your protective self is also going to get rejected and abandoned and judged because that's just the nature of the world, it's the human experience. So the other function of the protective self is to create some distance between who you really are and the protective self. So that when someone takes shots at the protective self, when someone attacks the protective self or judges it, you kind of feel like they haven't really judged you because they don't know you. They don't know the real you. They're just taking shots at your armor, right? And that allows the real you, the authentic you, to feel safe, to feel protected, to hide, to hide. It allows the authentic you to hide. So, here's the truth of it. And by the way, if you resonate with this, this is for you because I resonate with this. The truth is this: you will never feel fulfilled being your protective self. Your protective self is just a performer, an actor. It's not who you really are. And you know what? Performing 24 hours a day is tiring. It's exhausting. Are you exhausted? I'm exhausted. It's time to bring the authentic self out of hiding. The little child, the inner child, out of hiding. The one that's truly you. Be yourself. It takes courage. I know it's not easy, but it's the only way that you'll feel fulfilled in this lifetime. Will you get rejected? Will you get judged? Of course you will, just like your protective self will and does. But the goal is to love yourself so much that the judgment and the criticism just rolls right off of your back. That takes practice. It's not easy. It's not easy for you. It's not easy for me. But this life is about living it to our fullest potential. And we can never live our life to our fullest potential being someone else, being a representative of who we really are. So baby steps, step by step, little by little, we find ways to be more of who we are. We find the courage to be more of who we are. If this resonates with you, please subscribe, hit the like button, drop me a comment. Let me know you're with me. Thank you for listening.